Welcome to Roscoe Squeeze Off, the podcast. Once again, it's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off, world's foremost authority in all things that matter. Also, once again, I'm saying Roscoe Squeeze Off from the Show on the Go podcast. But when I do sports, I do my own thing. So, Lebron James has just won his fourth championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. He is the only player to win a NBA MVP of the finals with three different teams. So, you get so much feedback on LeBron, and I'm a fan of his work. I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm not really a big fan of any particular player. If somebody I like to watch, I guess I'd like to watch Steph Curry's game a little bit. It's very exciting. I like Zion's game, very exciting. But as far as just like an overall, I'm just a fan of a guy. I'm a fan of what he's done and what he's accomplished. So, but I wanted to put him, being that he moves people. He moves the meter so much, either one way or the other, that I wanted to just kind of see if we can't. I'm gonna do a little series on just LeBron, and I'm gonna compare him to some of the different great players of all time to give you my opinion, and maybe you could even chime in on what you think, where you think he ranks amongst the all-time greats. I like to think most people have him even number two area, maybe even number one above Jordan. But I've heard some of these lists, like Charles Barkley, these guys don't have him in the top five. So I can't really go back as far as Oscar Robertson. It's just way past my time. But I was going to start today with Larry Bird. LeBron James versus Larry Bird. Who you taking? Now, I'm not even going statistics on this one. This is just strictly the eye test. And I was old enough to catch Larry Bird as a child growing up. And I was very into basketball at an early age, all sports at an early age. So I got a chance to see him a lot. And my difference is, I want to start with Larry Bird. Great shooter. One of the best shooters in history. If he played in this era where the shot can just rain out as much as you want, he would kill the game. The game was much slower. Well, it wasn't slower. It was different. What I mean by different is you didn't just run out there chucking up threes nonstop. You played the game for 2 points and you took threes when they were open, or not forced, but when you set it up. You went inside out back in those days. You always went bigs first. So he had three other Hall of Famers, sometimes four, on his team. So you worked it inside to one of the best post players of all time, Kevin McHale, and then also the Chief, Robert Parrish. So Larry Bird was still looking around the first option, but by moving the ball inside out, you're able to get good space and get good shots for him to take good shots. And he also had a good post-up game. So, first of all, he's one of the best shooters in the history of the game. He created spacing. He shot threes at a good clip. He just didn't take a lot of threes. He also was an amazing passer. Now, the difference between him and LeBron James is LeBron, the ball sticks with him a lot for his passing. He brings the ball up the court. If he doesn't bring the ball up the court, they give it to him. He sets up. He has to get into a set, and then he passes the ball. He draws defenders to him, 1 to 2 defenders. Then he passes to the open guy. Larry Bird could do that. Yes, he could. But Larry Bird had the ability to pass or shoot without ever having the ball in his hands. So Dennis Johnson, or Danny Ainge would have the ball in their hands a lot. Corn Maxwell would have the ball in their hands a lot, bringing it up or initiating the offense. Larry Bird could come off of a screen. Larry Bird could just slip into different areas, and you could just hit him, and he could either hit you with a shot really quickly, or he was one of the best, if not the best ever, touch passer. A ball would just touch his hands for a moment, and boom, off to the next guy for a wide open layup, shot, what have you. And a lot of no-look touch passes at that. LeBron is more of a offense unto himself. You give him the ball, and he creates the offense by drawing the defenders, putting the defense in a situation where they have to either help on him, which is usually what they do, or he penetrates to the hole, and then he can kick it out once the defense collapses on him. He kicks it out to wide open 3-point shooters, and then sometimes he even kicks it out to a guy that can, if he's coming from one side of the lane, to another guy on the other side of the lane that gets a good easy shot or layup there. So LeBron and Larry Bird are just so different. LeBron is a better shooter now, but he's not like a spot-up shooter. You don't just kick it to LeBron and he shoots. He usually sets himself up with a dribble, more of a rhythm thing. He gets a couple of bounces and does a little step back and shoot. Larry Bird could shoot pretty much any way you gave it to him. He didn't do the contested shot thing a lot unless he was just showing off, because he's a big smack talker, and in tight situations in game, which he was just a great final shot maker, end of quarters, end of halves, end of games, with a guy right on him. That lets you know if he played in this day and age where you got the green light like James Harden that just can shoot at will no matter who's covering him. Larry Bird may light it up on fire. In this day and age, he might average 50 points a game. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. The creation tool allows you to record and edit a podcast right from your phone, tablet, computer, what have you. Anchor will distribute the podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You make money right from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. All you have to do is download the Anchor app. Go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, that's anchor.fm to get started making your own podcast today. But the difference between these two players would be the defense. Now, LeBron has not been the defensive player he used to be years ago with Miami, but he's still a darn good defender. He had some good series there where he covered Murray. He doesn't cover the tough assignment all game, but down the stretch in tight moments, he will go ahead and try to cover the main person. He's done it with Kawhi and Paul George. A couple of series down the end of their games, with Murray from Denver, even with Jimmy Butler with Miami. Even though Butler kind of got his thing off here, but still he does it, and he's a better defender. It's just no way to doubt that he's a better defender than Larry Bird was. So if I'm giving the edge between these two guys, shooting, you go with Bird without question. Passing, I'm going to call it a wash. It's a little different in how they do it, like I was explaining. But I would call it an even matchup because they're great passes. LeBron's going to have more assists because his longevity has been amazing. Not really missing games, playing nonstop. Bird had a bad back pretty early in his career and missed games all the time. But LeBron, his health is just, it's immaculate. He's going to break all the longevity awards. Handling of the ball. I would go with LeBron. LeBron actually plays like a point guard. Larry Bird could dribble. He didn't really shake anybody. I don't remember him driving and penetrating and crossing guys up. Now the game was different back then, so a lot of guys didn't do that back then. But I just believe LeBron is better at that than Larry Bird. Defense. Well, actually, let me go rebounding. Rebounding, I would call a wash as well. I believe, off the top of my head, not looking at any statistics, I believe that Larry Bird may even have the edge there in rebounding as far as per game average. But once again, the game was different. So Larry Bird played small forward to power forward sometimes, and the players that he played against weren't shooting a ton of threes. So he had a better chance to get rebounds closer to the rim than with LeBron. LeBron plays a lot of guys on the perimeter around the three-point line because the game has just changed. Everybody's on the perimeter now. It's all about spacing. Larry Bird played a lot of post-up defense, a lot of guys in the post, things of that nature. So by that being the case, it's a lot different than what it is, what it is today with LeBron James, playing on the perimeter. Defensive, so rebounding, I'll give it a wash, because LeBron is actually a darn good rebounder, and his physical ability allows him to jump over most guys, to put his body on guys very strong with positioning. Larry Bird was just near the rim a lot, and he had a lot of other good rebounders with him too. But Larry Bird was definitely a good rebounder that could give you double-digit rebounds every game as well. Defense, like I said, gave that to LeBron. And then just intangibles, clutchness. LeBron is clutch. I mean, I think I heard Nick Wright say this, and it's just the truth. We're used to that Michael Jordan shoot at the end of the game at all costs. Throw reckless to a band. I'm going to throw, the couple plays where he threw it to Paxson or Curve was like such an amazing thing. But LeBron will always make the right play at the end of the game. As crazy as that sounds to some people. And I was a Jordan fan growing up. It is what it is. He makes the right play. He'll get it to the guy with the most open shot. I mean, even the Game 5 of the Miami series, just the finals he just finished with, he threw the ball to Morris. When he was driving, he threw the ball to Morris. And Morris missed a shot at the end of the game, but he was wide open at the top of the key for a three that could have won the game, and he just missed it. He was wide open. So he gave it to the guy with the best chance to have an uncontested shot. Now, granted, if that was Jordan or maybe even Bird, they're trying to find a way to finish that and score that themselves. But he made the best looking shot, the best available shot. So I appreciate that more now, but I was one of those guys that said, Jordan would have took the shot. But at the end of the day, it's about making the right play. And that's kind of where Magic Johnson was with that too. He made the right play a lot of times. I mean, he took it sometimes, but he went to, the right play sometimes is the key. And that's probably what you should do if you're teaching the game to kids, to make the right play. If double coverage is rolling your way, you get it to a wide open shooter. And some people will say in the Cleveland game, he shouldn't have threw it to Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver has one of the highest percentages of three-point shots in the history of the game. He got the guy a wide open shot against Golden State. He just happened to miss. So you can't be really mad at him for that. He makes the right play. I give him credit. He makes the right play pretty much every single time. So the intangibles, I'm actually going to go with LeBron because he makes the right play. Clutch shooting, if I put it in a separate category, I would go with the Bird because Bird has some great moments. Walking by the sideline of the side bench of the other team and saying, I'm about to win this game, and then goes out there with 1.5 seconds left, catches a turn, shoots, makes it. I mean, that's just what Bird did. And LeBron has made closing shots as well, but he makes the right play so often that it throws your mind off of the fact that he didn't take the final shot and he got it to a wide open guy. You think he's not as clutch as maybe a Jordan or a Bird, or guys who take the last shot almost at all costs. At the end of the day, if you're picking a player to start a team with in their prime, I'm going with LeBron James. I think he just does more. He brings more to the table. And, hey, I'm a Bird fan. Bird was a great shooter, scorer, great all-around player, great for the game of basketball, best player in the league, won 3 MVPs. That being said, I'm going with LeBron James. So let me know what you guys think. Do you pick Bird over LeBron? Do you pick LeBron over Bird? I'm going with LeBron James, and I will come more to this series. I don't know who my next player may be. I'll figure that out, and I'll probably put it out there tomorrow. But LeBron versus Larry Bird, all-time great. LeBron takes this one. So once again, it's your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off for the Roscoe Squeeze Off podcast. World's foremost authority in all things that matter. Until next time, peace. And let me know what you guys think. Go to any one of our media platforms and just chime in about it. Let me know what you think.